everybody, and welcome back to a brand new episode of Soaps and Sass. This is episode 34, the week of September 8th to the 12th.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm Mama Sass.
And I'm Baby Sass.
Why don't we start off with exciting news and updates?
Okay. Soaps and Sass are officially up on YouTube. You can find us under the same name of Soaps and Sass. Yeah. We've got the first 5 episodes of our podcast up on there, and we will be uploading past episodes as well as new episodes as we go.
Yes.
We'll be uploading the new and current episodes before past episodes just because it takes time to get the audio to a video.
Right. So look out for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yes.
Tell your friends. Don't
forget to comment too. If you guys have thoughts, theories, just general comments, please do so because we will read them and we love to hear your thoughts and, contradictions to us and
where we're completely off base or, where my old memory has failed.
Right. It gives us more more material, honestly.
Yes, because this is like a conversation with you. We're not just talking at you. We want to be talking with you.
Right.
So that said, why don't we jump right into the recap for this week?
All right.
So on Monday, Jason springs to action. He goes to rescue Britt. Anna zeroes in on her prime suspect. Brennan is offered a deal. Valentine!
We'll get to that.
Britt has cause for alarm as Jason ditches her to save Joss. Cody scores points with Molly after harassing her until she answered her phone. Because she don't hear.
In fairness, this was a reasonable amount of harassment.
Yes, it was. I'm not saying it was unreasonable. That's just what he did.
As he should have.
Yes. On Tuesday, time is running out for Britt. Quite literally. She got an ankle bracelet with a bomb on. Michael asks Curtis for help in finding Jacinda. Lulu has a big decision to make, which is Charlotte going to see her dad. Alexis says too much. And Portia turns the tables on Jacinda, who was trying to blackmail her again. On Wednesday, Anna and Dante question a suspect, which is MC3 or Michael Corinthos III. Willow confers with Chase. Trina confides in Emma. I don't know why, but whatevs. Carly advises Lulu, stop playing the tail. You're a good mother, be a good mother.
Mm-hmm.
Nina receives a tempting proposition. Brennan will help her with the cops if she helps him with Lulu. And then on Thursday, a shocking return rocks Port Charles. Hi, Britt! Jason is stonewalled. Britt did not take rejection well. Nina briefs Lulu. Brennan asked her to help. Dante is caught off guard. He catches his brother MC3 with his pants down.
Well... more so button his pants than pants down, but I know
like
what you mean.
Way better.
I know what you mean.
Lucas grills Carly, wanting to know who else knows she threatened Drew. And then on Friday, Anna defends herself to Jason, who is well vexed because she didn't tell him something. Dante and Lulu break big news.
Meh.
I don't know how big it was, but it was big to Rocco anyway. It's like Britt is alive.
Right.
Your birth mother is alive.
I mean, this news will rock Port Charles in a way, but it's not gonna rock it to the extent of.
I didn't say it was gonna rock Port Charles.
No. I know that. I'm saying it's more in the sense of big news to Rocco, but it's like yes, big news to Rocco, but also like it's gonna be like big news to other people, like maybe. Maxie's family and.
Sure, I got 2 more sentences.
Fair enough. Go on.
Elizabeth cautions Lucas not to call Brad and tell him that Britt is back. Sonny reveals his plan. Hi, Brick.
We'll get back to that too.
And Brennan wants answers.
And
why are Joss and Vaughn in bed naked?
Okay, not those answers.
That's not those
answers. I don't know why you brought that up.
Because those. Well, I wrote not really. That's not the answers he's looking for.
No,
but it made me laugh.
No, but it took him too long to get those answers. We'll get to that too because
so that is the recap for the week.
Where do you want to start?
Okay, well I want to go back to Monday because this doesn't really drag out for the week. It's really just like a Monday Tuesday thing.
Okay.
So Scout found out that Drew had been shot and she ran away from camp, and everybody's looking for her. And this is why Cody was ringing off Molly's phone. to tell her that Scout was over at the Quartermains, which I fully expected.
Right.
So Molly was like, what do you want? When she finally answers the phone, and it's like, did you not read my text? And she's like, no, I didn't. And then stops the conversation to read the text. Are you not on the phone with the man? Why don't you just ask him what he wanted?
He's like, no, I didn't. What did you say? And then he's like, 911. Why 911? I.e., your niece is here. Yep. And seeing as she only has one niece, she can put two and two together pretty quick.
Right. Which, basically, because Alexis and Willow were made aware that Molly, that Scout, I can't talk today, that Scout was missing from camp or had run away from camp. They found that out on Friday.
Right.
And so they're finding out more or less about the same time where Scout is, because Charlotte, new actress, surfaces at the hospital. And the new actress's name is Bluesy. I don't remember her last name at the moment, but yeah.
I will say, though, I like this actress more than the previous one.
Scarlett Hernandez that played Charlotte before.
Yeah, and
really,
reason being, one, because I think this Charlotte, already just from the scene she's had, gives me more mature than the other Charlotte did. Like, this one looks more her age compared to the other Charlotte. The other Charlotte, I think, had more of a baby face. Mm-hmm. Also,
more teen angst.
Right. I think looks a little bit more like her mom. Like, more blonder hair than the other one's like, that. Okay, you're getting the brown from your father, but you know. And, so far I'm just like, I like you. You're not giving off a certain vibe that just gives child.
Okay.
Like you said, it gives more teen angst, I guess. Mm-hmm. And I'm also just like, when you go see Valentine, I'm curious, like, how will you call him Papa? Because I didn't like how the other Charlotte was calling him Papa. Like, the way she would say it is just like, eh.
Okay. So the new actress's name is Bluesy Burke, and I'm sorry I misrepresented the previous actress's name. Her name was Scarlett Fernandez, not Hernandez. Apologies there. So you liking Bluesy? I'm liking
Bluesy.
Okay. I think she seems all right. Needs a little bit of time to settle in.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we were talking about Charlotte suddenly pops up, and because we hadn't seen her all summer, and you and I had spoken about where is Charlotte. Lulu made all this fuss, and I think we talked about it on the pod.
Yeah, we did. It was like, where is this girl? It's like you fight tooth and nail to find and bring her home,
and
then
like, we don't see her.
It's like that was your whole story arc when you woke up.
Yeah,
and then you finally get her home, and she's just nowhere to be seen.
Yeah.
Come to find out, she's just sulking in her room.
Yeah.
Being a little depressed because,
she's just being a teenager. She wants her father.
Right. Her dad's locked up. She's trying to get readjusted to being back in Port Charles. Mm-hmm. Somehow got her license in that time.
Yeah, for real. And enough to let her drive a car by herself. But, okay. But yeah, so sticking with Charlotte for a minute, because I want to go a different direction. So Valentine is back.
Yep.
Well, not is back. Was back briefly.
Yep.
And by the sounds of it, based on what was happening, we'll be there for a minute, because the deal that he was trying to strike up with Brennan wants to know who Colette is working for, now that he knows that Colette's a double agent.
Right, which might tell us who our benefactor is.
Absolutely would. And Valentine's like, yeah, okay, I'll tell you if you bring my daughter to see me. Which then ties in later in the week. So after Brennan speaks to
Valentine, he speaks to her. Her being Lulu.
Yeah, speaks to Lulu. Lulu's like, I'm not doing it. You can just get to stepping. Interestingly, after making that decision, she calls Carly. I'm not sure what she was looking for. Was she looking for Carly to take Brennan to task, or was she looking for advice? You already made your decision. What advice do you need?
I think it was the
get your man.
Yeah, basically, it's like your boyfriend is overstepping, and then basically explain the whole situation, and then that kind of led to the advice giving.
Yeah, Carly was like, "I think you're making a mistake. I think you should let her see him." Which Nina came and said the same thing. Nina said she wasn't going to help Brennan.
She said the same thing, but the difference from what she said is she said, you take this opportunity and use it for your benefit.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I liked. Nina gave her a very winning
It's like
argument.
Everyone's like, do it for Charlotte, da-da-da-da-da, you know she gonna resent you, da-da-da-da. But once Nina comes in being like, you know I care about Charlotte, and that's one thing we both have in common, even if, you know, we've butt heads before, but I would never do anything to hurt Charlotte, and that being said, it's like, if I don't want to hurt Charlotte, I need to have a good relationship with you because we both care about her and yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Again, that being said, use Brennan wanting Charlotte to go see her father to your advantage.
Mm-hmm.
And Lulu's like, keep talking. I'm listening.
Yeah, because Lulu's schemy.
Because she's like, I don't want to ruin my relationship with my daughter. She's just coming out of this. I don't want to put her back in the same place.
Yeah.
And he's
and I like where Nina was like, okay, before I say anything else, you are aware that she and I talk all the time.
Right, that too.
Yeah. And I was like yeah, I know.
It's like, yeah. And 95% of those conversations are about her father.
Yeah, and Lulu was just like, Shabaki?
It's like, yeah, sure, they might talk about girl stuff and, whatever. But it's like, no, it's going to be about her father. And it's like, regardless of how Charlotte knows about how I feel about her father, what she does, it's like, yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, granted, it's like, we're aware you weren't there for most of Charlotte's life. And because of that, she has a deeper connection with her father than she does you. But...
yeah, and I think it's a hard thing. Because as a parent, I took that quite to heart. It's so important, even as we have feelings about things, that we leave room for our kids to express themselves. Otherwise, we get cut out of a lot of stuff.
Right, and I think the same, like what you just said, it obviously applies to Rocco as well.
Yeah.
Given the whole situation with Obrecht and now Britt and all that. It's like, yeah, his parents are trying to, keep him at a distance from these things and try to not necessarily control the narrative, but,
No, exactly, control the narrative.
Well, more so, I would say filter the narrative.
Well, okay.
That's why I'm like, not totally control, because they're trying to filter the narrative, so it's like he knows certain things but not all things, and it's like, yeah, and if you don't tell him everything, he's gonna go look for it, which is, as you pointed out when you told him, it's like, look, he's gonna be asking these questions and we'd like to be the ones to tell him. Yeah.
And in fact, they kind of pulled something similar when Britt showed up later in the week, and now I'm going down a whole other storyline that I wasn't ready to go down.
Well,
yet.
we can put a pin in that.
I'll put a pin in that. And then come back to where I was talking about Cody and the call. Do you think Molly was right to tell Scout about the restraining order?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because?
I'm of the mind that if kids ask a question, tell them the answer. You don't have to tell them the whole answer, so to speak. But if they're old enough to ask the question, if they're old enough to understand, give them the answer.
Okay, at a level they can understand,
yeah,
obviously.
Exactly. Okay. Like, it's like when kids ask about sex, it's like, okay, it's like you have to take in consideration, like, okay, how old are they? Their maturity level, so on and so forth. Because I remember when, I think we were coming back from a thing at church, and me and my sister asked you about sex, or where babies come from, and I think you just told us straight out the whole situation. But, like, and you didn't sugarcoat anything, but you told us in a way that's like, and you even said, don't go repeating this to your friends and everything, because it's like, that's a conversation they need to have with their parents. But it was still like, you told us because you're like, you guys are old enough to understand what this is and all of that. So I think for Scout, she's definitely old enough to understand. It's like, why she can't see her family, and the way Molly put it is like, it's something called a restraining order. Do you know what that is? It's like, no. Basically, it's something the judge signs, that basically states that certain people can't see you. Yeah. And it's not that, and I like how she was like, they have to stay a certain amount of feet. It's like, they can't see you without explicit permission or so on and so forth. And Scout understood that, and while it did hurt her, it's like, okay, but why is he keeping me away from, like, you and Danny and Grandma? Like, she just didn't understand it. But or at least she couldn't understand why her dad would do that, but she fully understood what a restraining order meant. Yeah. So it's like, so yeah, I think Molly was right to tell her, because honestly, like, Scout misses her family. She's asking all these questions she doesn't understand, and by giving her
10 or 12,
she's 12.
12. Oh, yeah.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Is like, it's like she's asking all these questions she doesn't understand, so giving her at least a little information to understand makes more sense. And, like, I think she even brought up, it's like, but, you know, I was the one who asked Danny to bring me here the last time. And it's like, we know he knows, but he still feels whatever. And, like I said, I think it's reasonable.
Okay. No, I agree with that. And I remember the conversation that you're talking about. When I nearly drove off the road. I was so taken aback.
I don't remember that. I just remember you answering the question. But okay.
Yeah. And okay, so by the same token, do you think Charlotte was right to drive her to the Quartermaines?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I think Charlotte should have told somebody.
Yeah.
For sure, because
at the camp,
yeah, because again, just like how if Drew hadn't been shot, and you know, Scout's like, can you, you know, whatever, or you know, say it wasn't Drew, but someone else in her family got hurt, and she'd still want to, you know, go to the Quartermaines, they wouldn't be calling Willow, they wouldn't be calling Felicia, they'd be calling Drew. Drew would automatically think Danny once again.
Yeah.
But once he figures out it's Charlotte, I still think the question is, would he press charges against Charlotte?
Sure, Rocco's sister.
Therefore, okay, fair enough. Then again, so
influence of one, indirect influence from Danny. That's how Drew would see that.
There you go. So yeah, he would still be like, arrest her for kidnapping. So yeah, because essentially she kidnapped her. She had no right to remove her from the premises. I think her friend was a little... I understand why her friend did it, but it's still like...
Yeah.
But yeah.
You know, I was wondering, it's like Charlotte didn't have other kids she was supposed to be minding.
She was... Right. She was a counselor in training. So while, yes, she's minding other kids...
But this is it. Like, but it sounded like she just picked up and gone with the child, and nobody knew that Charlotte was gone either. So they're looking around for Charlotte to mind somebody, and it's like,
right. Hence why I say yes and no. I'm like, no. Like, you should have told somebody. You should have been like, hey, like, she wants to go home. Her dad got hurt. She now knows about it, and she wants to go see her family. Like,
because clearly she would have got there one way or the other, right?
Right, and it's like, she's not taking no... Like, I'm trying to tell her, you know, she should probably stay and wait and everything, but she really wants to go. So, you know, whatever. And then... And if they had called Willow, because Willow's obviously whatever... Because, yeah, the only authorized people are Drew and Willow to pick her up. They would have called Willow next, so I think that would have been a conversation. Been like, this is what's going on with Scout. She wants to see her family. I think Willow would have let her. It's like, yes, like...
Well, I mean, like, Willow wasn't even aware
No, fair... what do you mean wasn't aware?
Willow wasn't aware there was a restraining order against them. No, she found that out from Alexis.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I don't think Willow would have stopped her from saying, like, yes, like... I don't have a problem with Charlotte taking her to the family to see her family. I'll pick her up from the Quartermaines. Yeah. Like, I think that would have been fine if Charlotte had said something. And the yes part on your question for if Charlotte should have whatever, I'm like, yeah, take her, go. Charlotte knows you. You know the family. Gone.
Yeah, okay.
I just think you should have told somebody so they're not, because, oh my goodness. Someone who's over children, when the children go missing. Ugh.
Yep. That's a fact.
Yeah. It's not fun.
Yes. Ask me how I know.
I don't need... Yeah, but we were in diapers compared to, like, grown children.
Listen.
I know
it's not funny at any age. And in fact, it's worse when they're in diapers because really,
I know.
You had the right to have an eye on them.
I know. I know.
Anyway, we won't dwell on that.
No, but we have both experienced children running off, and it's not fun.
No.
So we know what Drew and the rest of her family feel.
Yep. Okay. So do we want to continue talking about Britt, or do we want to get into Drew and that whole story?
Let's go into Drew and that whole story, because I think the Britt thing and her family is a whole other level.
All right, so Drew wakes up this week. I think he probably woke up last week, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he woke up, but we didn't see him until this week.
Right. So Dante went to question him, and, you know, he walked Drew...
Through the night?
Excuse me, not Drew. He walked Dante through the events of the night and named a suspect.
Even though he said...
I did not see who it was. And then Dante said, well, who do you think has a reason to kill you, or is there anybody who has a reason to shoot you? Yes, your brother, MC3.
Please stop calling him that. But anyway,
Michael Corinthos the Third.
Or you could just call him Michael. Everyone will know who you mean. But yeah, Drew accuses Michael, even though they have plenty of people who they think could have done it.
Oh my
had
goodness.
plenty of reason to do it, and had plenty of opportunity to do it. However,
so Michael has his alibi, which is Jacinda. So as we said, he didn't get her name when he met her. The bartender or the waiter, who was knew who Michael was talking about, recognized that he'd seen Michael the night before. Why you didn't just have the bartender as your alibi? Because I don't know. Or your backup.
Because he couldn't.
I know, justify that he was there the whole night because he wasn't there the whole night.
Exactly.
I'm sure.
But
at a minimum, he could say he saw them together.
Right. Though, I don't... But with the bartender being new, I don't think he would have minded a little...
I'm saying...
little slide of cash.
I'm saying, like, solidify your alibi. Back that up. You already know there's a guy who saw you two together.
Right. But even then, he could be like, oh, yeah. They were here for a good chunk of the night.
Or I saw them leave together.
That too. Which
is what Jacinda says when Dante shows up.
Though my mercy. Again, these people can't read a room, though. Because after Michael gets interrogated, again, by Anna and his brother, which is like,
That's weird.
It's like, but then again, they did say they can be unbiased, and if Anna felt that she needed to remove them.
Sure, but I still think it should have been Anna and Chase, not Anna and Dante.
Fair enough.
But anyways, that was a plot point that was needed for later.
Right. But again, after that whole thing, Michael gone left the police station, and then Dante done go looking for Jacinda. Yep. After Michael makes a quick stop at the Port Charles Grill again. But then goes find... Yeah, because Michael stopped by when Brennan and Nina were having a conversation. Brennan then left. Nina looked over and there was Michael drinking an iced tea. But anyway, so Dante go off to the Metro Court to go find Jacinda at the same 627-29 hotel room that everyone appears to be staying in.
Set decoration, man.
Right? And then there's Jacinda in her bathrobe and a nightie. And apparently
Dante... In the middle of the day.
And Dante can't read a room. It's like, you cannot ascertain, based on how this lady is dressed, that she's not alone.
I don't think he cared.
But I'm like, if you have to take the woman to the station, you're going to take her like that, or you're going to let her change?
No, he would have let her change. Because she's not arrested. She was just there to be interrogated. She could come down whenever she liked. So that was kind of interesting. The other thing, while Dante was speaking to Drew, he asked him about, what he was doing, and then one of the things Drew mentioned was that he had gone to the safe. He took out the ring, and he was like, "Oh my goodness, is the ring still?" I was like, "No, it's still on. It was still on your mantelpiece. Did you close the safe?" And I was like, "No, I didn't." And then Dante's like, "Okay, so we're gonna inventory it," or however Dante put it. And Drew was like, nuh-uh, don't touch my stuff. Don't touch my stuff.
Yeah,
don't touch my stuff.
Yeah, he basically said, "I do not give the police department permission to go through my safe."
Right? Which made Dante raise an eyebrow.
Right?
At least he's paying attention.
Right, and we're just like, kind of valid. But then later information gave us, that's gonna make him look sus. So hopefully they get to the safe before Drew does.
Right. But so then Kai shows up to visit.
Because he wants to see because Trina was basically like, but what if he heard us even though he's unconscious? Because you know how people can hear people when they're unconscious. And she was freaking out.
Trina's in a full-blown panic.
She is. So Kai's like, I'll go check on him, see if he remembers anything.
So Kai goes to visit. He's, keeps his distance, which I thought was kind of interesting because y'all were friendly, so I'm surprised he didn't go closer to the bed, but whatever. Drew asked Kai to go bring the stuff out of the safe, and Kai has a little momentary panic knowing that he's taking stuff out.
Right.
But had a great comeback.
Good reasons. It's like,
your place
is a crime scene.
It's a crime scene. So Drew's like, sneak in, and Kai's like,
I don't feel
you know who you're talking to, right?
I don't feel more comfortable doing that.
Mr. Integrity himself, I'm not doing that.
It's like, you hired me for my integrity.
Right?
So Drew's like, okay, I understand.
I was surprised.
I was too. I really thought he was gonna, in his pain and anger, just be like, Kai, shut up and go.
Yeah.
I asked you to go do it, so go do it.
But that would mess with how he wants Kai to perceive him. Right?
It would.
So I guess that's why he didn't do it. So anyways, he calls for Willow.
He does.
And then Willow comes in, and I'm going to point this out just because I'm going to circle back to it later. Willow comes in, closes the blinds.
Yep.
Which I thought was super interesting. I was waiting for something to pop off. Maybe it still will. Who can say? And then the whole time she's talking to Drew, she's kind of standoffish, but we understand from a conversation she had with Liz that she is not at all interested in Drew. I think she went so far as to say she hates him. I can't remember.
Yep, something so.
But she's very standoffish in the room. And then she was like, do you know who shot you? And the way she said it was almost like, did you see me?
The way she said it, and the way she said it, and the way she's standing is like trying to gather information from this man.
Yeah,
to
exactly.
see if he's like, and the things he tells her though.
Yeah, he tells her basically, I spoke to the police. I've pointed them in Michael's direction because if Michael gets arrested, then you automatically get your kids. Now she looks quite horrified, but seems ultimately says that she's okay with that plan.
Right, which is interesting. But then again, with her now finding out that Rick is MIA,
What she found out after that.
She found out before because she was having a conversation with Elizabeth, which is when Kai
came up
and got him. Right. But here's the thing. Yes, she was kind of a little horrified and also kind of like okay with that. But I think she's horrified because she's like, again, Drew being the shady man, but had to go along with the okay to make him think she's still on his side.
I hope that's what it is, because I didn't quite get that vibe, but I hope that's what it is. Right. I just want this woman to be aware, and this woman, this fictional character, I want her to be aware that the same way Drew has sabotaged and is doing all this underhanded business to everybody else, the second that he thinks Willow is against him,
he's gonna turn her.
He's gonna do the same to her.
Right.
And is she prepared for that?
No.
I don't think so.
But I also find it interesting. So, a few things. So, the first thing I found interesting was he's telling her about what happened as he's going over it.
Yeah.
And then he mentions, I took out Lila's ring. And, and she's like, why'd you take out Lila's ring? And he's telling her, it's like, oh, because I was going to give it to you as a promise for coming back to me. And blah, 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 blah. And it's like, and like our new beginning. And it's like,
I don't know that she said all of that.
That's what he said.
No, he said that.
Yeah.
But I don't know that Willow had said all of that to him. I feel he's like a little presumptuous. She gave him a mustard seed.
Yes.
And he come up with an avocado seed.
Yes.
What?
Yes, because as we know, Willow is weeks ago, Willow is sitting at the table in the Port Charles Grill, talking to Drew, trying to come up with a plan, and then Nina comes in, and then she looks at Drew before she leaves, says, "If you can get my kids back, I will come back to you." Yeah. Keyword being if. Then runs off to the hospital, not the hotel, the hospital, and says to Elizabeth,
"Yes,
I want you to be the first one to know I'm getting back together."
Yes, I know. And Drew ran off to Carly, and Carly said,
"If was imaginary. The if was never there."
Right, I know that, but he never heard her say anything without an if.
That's my point. I don't know why they said if when the if was just non-existent. Because the next scenes we get are, now we're back together. I'm like, what happened to him getting your kids back and then you going back to him?
Yeah. So, yeah. And Drew just assumed it's fait accompli. Which is like, that's what I'm saying. On Drew's side, I get it.
Right. Willow I don't know why she didn't just stick as like, Drew, I said if.
Yeah,
there's no guarantee.
Exactly.
You need to get my kids back first and then I will come back to you.
Hold that leverage.
Right.
And then Drew's talking about take Scout back to the house. It's like,
again, didn't your assistant just come and tell you your house is an active crime scene? Do you really like? Okay, it's one thing for you to ask your assistant to go into an active crime scene and get the stuff at your safe, which then if the police go back and find out, like they could open it just for prints and and see that there's nothing in it after you told them there's stuff in it. But it's one thing for you to tell your assistant to sneak into your house and get your stuff. It is a complete other thing to send your 12-year-old child back to a house where you were shot where there's blood still on the carpet.
Right?
Are you trying to traumatize her? Which at this point you don't care about her well-being.
Yes.
So at this point, yeah, you are trying to traumatize her.
Yes, he is trying to traumatize her because he already did it by cutting off her whole family. So it's like, that's just, it's just a blip. Okay. So now, let's talk about Britt.
Oh, there was another thing that I want to bring up. Sorry, very quickly.
No, go ahead.
Then, at the end of the episode, because I think this is how we ended off, or one of the scenes we ended off on, was they're talking, again, Willow and Drew, and Gensang's like, oh yeah, Michael did it. And she's like, but you told the police you didn't see who did it. And she's like, well, that's the funny thing about traumatic events.
Yes.
The memories just come flooding back.
Right.
So, and she's looking at him like,
You're a monster.
Basically, it's like, you're gonna lie to the police. It's like, the man has been lying from time. Of course he's gonna lie to the police.
I don't know why you thought anything different. And actually, before we go to Britt, which I think is where I said we were going, I have, my short-term memory is like, I don't know, fuzzy. Still talking about Drew and Brick. Brick is back in town. My man's so smooth.
While he's in town, he should go look for Jordan. Now she broke up with a man.
Don't nobody want that.
I'm just saying. No, I don't want it. But they might push it. So I'm just saying.
Well, okay. So Brick is back in town, and we find out after Diane gave Sunny some very good advice, and we said this in the podcast last week.
I said this last week. If you need to go look for information on this money, why are you asking Diane to dig? Go call Brick. Brick can do it in 20 seconds. Oh, look! It's Brick! Yay! Who just said, I've done this with the money.
Yep. Brick put a trail showing that the money came from Drew, even though they also are quite sure it came from Sidwell. But put the trail and the evidence to back it up in Drew's safe.
Which I love because it's like, Brick, when were you in the house?
Right? And it's the same thing Sunny said. It's like, were you there when he got shot? Nah, man.
Right? Brick is smart. Brick pleads the fifth.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, but if I was...
Hey.
I know you guys probably didn't hear that on the mic, but it was pop.
Right? So, it was nice to see Brick. That's what that plan is. So, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. Or if Drew actually manages to get his hands on the paperwork before the police and actually see that and counteract it.
Here's the thing for me.
Or maybe he won't notice it.
I was going to say, here's the thing for me in two cases.
Mm-hmm.
So, in the first case, we have Dante questioning Drew. Drew saying, I took stuff out of my safe, yada, yada, yada. Dante saying, can we inventory the safe or whatever he was asking?
Mm-hmm.
And Drew saying, no, that is confidential information. Which, if the police somehow get either a warrant, dusting for prints or whatever, and they see this, they're going to be like, oh, that's probably why he didn't want us in his safe, because he done did this. There. So that's the first thing. If Drew does somehow manage to get to his safe, he's going to go, he probably will notice the trail, or the paperwork to show that he paid Judge Heron and be hella confused, but if he does, then he'll think again it was more Michael, which would infer the shooting, because like shoot him, get the stuff in the safe, none the wiser. The third possibility is if Drew does manage to get to his safe first, he'll be looking through to see if the blackmail on Portia is still there, because he thinks Curtis done did it, even though he blames Michael. And he'll be so focused on the envelope that had Portia's blackmail in it gone, he'll completely just not notice.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think. Maybe he won't notice. I don't know if he'll think that Michael did it. I mean, maybe he will, or maybe he'll think that Sidwell double crossed him because he knows that Sidwell's the one who put the money there.
We have no proof that he knows that. Even though Marco told him about the money, we have no confirmation that Marco said that Sidwell put the money, just that there was a bribe.
Well, why would they know otherwise?
Because Sidwell doesn't...
It's a fair point, though. You make a fair point.
Because, again, he didn't have any proof that Michael did it.
No.
But he also had, like, no one ever said, like, there was nothing to insinuate that he's aware that Sidwell did the
No.
trick. So
That's fair. I'm gonna throw in a prediction real quick here, just because we're talking about it. So with the paperwork, I think how cool would it be? 88 Turner reads Dante's report, reads that Drew said, stay out of my safe. She already knows he's crooked. She's trying to prove he's crooked. She gets a warrant for the contents of the safe.
I like that, and I hope that happens.
That would be cool. That would be cool. Okay. All right. So lastly, Britt returns to Port Charles. So as we said, on her way back, Jason's asking her where she been, who she working for, all this kind of thing. And she's like, don't ask me any questions. I ain't telling you nothing. Because she's hurt. She's hurt that they were in a relationship and then Carly needed him and he was like,
bye.
I gotta go marry Carly. Sorry.
And then when that fell apart, he went back to her and she's like,
And then he died. But he ain't dead.
Right.
But then again, neither is she.
Right. But the death part wasn't his fault.
No. Oh, as compared to what we learned
about
that Britt faking her own death.
Yeah. So in this case, Britt is a little bit of a hypocrite.
A little bit. So while they're on the plane, after, Jason's like, if ever you need any kind of help, call me. I will be there.
And she's like, fine, I will call you if I need help. But other than that, you're dead to me.
But before you die, how much money you got? I need like $20.
Actually, 40 because I tip.
Actually, just give me everything you got.
Right? Which was just like the man, like she, and the way she, like the look on her face is really like sheepish. She's like, can I get $20?
Yeah, it's like, I know I just told you I don't want anything from you, but, oh crap, I gotta ask you already.
Yeah, it's like, how much cash do you have? Man pulls out a little wad of cash, and he's kind of counting it, and then he just hands it over. But even I could kind of see she was reaching for it before he handed it over. I'm just like, yeah, just give her
just give her the money.
Just give her the cash.
Exactly.
And she's like, I'll pay you back. And he's like, no, don't even.
Right? So the first place she goes is to GH.
Which we were not expecting.
No, I was not expecting.
But it makes sense based off what she said.
It tied up a couple of plot points that were a little bizarre right before. Rocco is at whatever Surfside, whatever cafe with Charlotte. They lose Outback.
Because Outback was not on her leash.
I'm not even going to talk about an animal in this podcast. I'm not even bothering about it. They went looking for the dog. Rocco ran into a tree.
Right. He comes back. Obrecht is there, and
she says he needs stitches. She's going to take him to the hospital.
Right.
Okay.
As this is happening, Nina is with Lulu talking about Charlotte, and Rocco calls Lulu to be like, I'm fine. I have a cut on my head. Outback run away. Obrecht wants to take me to the hospital. Lulu's a little like, what? It's like, she was there.
You with Obrecht after.
It's like, we happened to run into each other. It wasn't a meeting. And she's like, fine. Go to the hospital. I will meet you there.
And then she turns to Nina and says, you want to come with me because I need you to run interference.
Which
Nina's like, okay. Yeah, I thought it was a reasonable ask because, as you said, we did not expect Britt to show up at the hospital. No. But it was just like, okay. So right. Lulu and Obrecht are going to get into it again, although they'd already called a truce.
Right.
But cool. And then Lulu calls Dante, who's off questioning Michael and
Jacinda.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Dante told Michael he ain't believing a word of it and stop his nonsense.
Right before asking, did you actually do it? Michael couldn't answer the question.
Or not wouldn't.
No, he couldn't answer the question because he got the phone call before he could even open his mouth.
Okay. So he didn't have time to answer the question.
I think he might have answered it to a degree. He wouldn't have given the full truth. Because it was more like, is she actually your alibi? Where were you that night? Like, were you actually... Right, because Dante said, were you with Jacinda that night?
Yes.
If he had asked the question of, were you with Jacinda the whole night?
Yeah.
Because Michael could have just been like, yes, I was with Jacinda that night. Rather than if he had said, were you with Jacinda the whole night, then that'd be a different thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Michael still would have told the truth.
Coming back to where we were. So Dante gets a call from Lulu talking about Rocco's at the hospital. I'm like, he said he bumped his head on a tree for stitches. Why you need to call Dante and why Dante need to rush off to the hospital? This ain't making no sense.
I think it was the Obrecht thing.
Maybe, but
more than anything,
I don't know that she mentioned that. But in any case,
Dante, he got a cut on his head. We're going to the hospital. Obrecht's with him.
Whatever the reason is, so they all turn up at the hospital, which we then discovered was basically a plot point for Britt walking in. Britt walks into the hospital. The first person that sees her is Elizabeth.
Which I find absolutely hilarious because I thought, based off where she was to enter the hospital, and she like leaned against the wall for a second, so I thought she would have caught sight, but I guess there was another wall so she didn't see them. But it's like, she walks in, and she's just staring kind of straight ahead, but also slightly off. So it's like not even in her peripheral. She just like reminisces, like, it's good to be home. And then, oh my God. Britt? Huh?
Right. So Liz is on one side, like where all the elevators are. Liesel, Lulu, Nina, Dante are
like
on
by
on the
stairs.
side over where the vending machine and stairs are, and Britt is in the middle of them. So Liz goes, Britt, their foreheads pivot fast. And let's go into our categories now.
Right?
Because if you needed a laugh this week,
oh my God,
let me tell you, Obrecht delivered.
Thursday's episode.
As did Joss and Vaughn, but
Thursday's episode. Oh my God.
So Liz is like, Britt, these foreheads whip around, and then, because I know you want to tell the people,
Obrecht fainted. Like, she's like, everyone's like, because Lulu's like, oh my God, this has got to be like,
this can't be real.
This can't be real. It's like, sorry, Lulu, I'm back. Past Obrecht. Oh. Her blood pressure just dropped.
With the audio and everything.
Her blood pressure just dropped.
And Nina caught her.
Nina caught her.
Which is fun.
And then Britt's face.
Yeah, Britt's like, what?
Like,
mother?
Yeah, like,
get a grip.
It's like so out of character for you. Like,
right?
It's like, what is it that shocking? Like,
so then we start Friday's episode, and Liz is on the floor in front of Obrecht with the smelling salts, and it's like, come on, there you go. And Obrecht's like, I'm so sorry. This has never happened before.
I don't know what came over me.
I would have sworn I saw Britt. And then Britt's like
slowly walks in a frame. It's you weren't dreaming, Mutter.
And
the slow rise is like, you should probably take it.
You know, you good?
It's like, I think you should stay sitting. You know, you might pass out again.
And then Britt says something like, hi, Mom, or whatever she says. And then
boo-hoo-hoo.
Alatrina into Spencer's arms.
Right, but
Obrecht launches herself.
The difference is her feet did not come off the ground.
Agreed. So that was kind of nice because I fully expected Liesel to slap Britt. What happened to you now?
I just realized she's gonna find out about Spencer.
Yes, she is gonna find out about Spencer, but we'll worry about that like next podcast or whenever it happens, right? Because she got to catch up on 2 years.
She does. We thought she was gonna get slapped, by the way.
Yes, well, I think I just said that right before I saw your face.
Probably.
Yeah, so I was expecting Obrecht to slap her. That came later.
One of those moments to be like, oh, you are real. Okay, my hat hurts. That flesh and blood. Okay. And then hug. It's like,
but
how dare you?
No, but I really like the way that Obrecht reacted because it's not something that Britt has been accustomed to. Like,
right.
She knew her mother loved her, but now it's an actual expression of motherly affection.
Yep.
In a way that she has not seen. So that was really nice to see.
Yep.
Other comedy moments this week. So when Joss and Vaughn were captive in the room, there's a point where I think Pascal must have messaged the two thugs that were guarding Joss and Vaughn that he'd left behind, and then one of the thugs takes off. I don't remember the reason, but I assume he must have gotten a message of some kind. So he leaves, and the young thug that's left behind is like, what's going on? He left me here. I don't know what to do. Which Joss and Vaughn take full advantage of. It's like, gee, things must be going south, and they left you here. You know, when the WSB comes to rescue us, they're just going to come and shooting. They're not going to ask any questions. Is your job worth it? Because I know mine sure isn't. And you can see the thug is really asking himself some hard questions. And I'm pretty sure he was going to let them go and run for his life. But then thug number one comes back.
Basically says you're not supposed to talk to them. And thug number two was like...
But it was fun to watch that. They all played their roles very well in that scene.
They did. Another comedy moment.
Same room, shortly thereafter.
Oh, yep.
Oh, were you going somewhere else?
No, I was going to that exact same thing.
All right, go ahead. You talk it.
So Jason is talking with Britt to figure out everything going on, and then Britt is kind of in her ramblings mentioned that Jocelyn's here and WSB da 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 da. And he's like, whoa, back up. He's like, what? He's like, yeah, Jocelyn's here, and I da da da. And he's like, okay, I'll be back. Kind of ditches her.
Oh my gosh.
To go find Jocelyn.
That's why she was so snarky to him the whole time after.
Basically gives him the key card to get into the room, goes to find Jocelyn, and in epic Jason fashion, he uses the key card to click the door. The guards are like, what? And before they can even do anything, Jason kicks the door open. The door goes flying and bangs. He charges in.
Blam, blam, blam.
And Vaughn is like, what the hell? And Joss is like, what? I can't see. What? Aw, damn it, I'm screwed.
That was awesome. That was a very good retelling. Thank you very much.
Because she's like, oh, great. Now I got to figure out how to get him to keep quiet and not tell my mama.
Indeed. Oh, my goodness. Okay. So, now that we've laughed, Port Charles also gave us a lot to be mad about this week. So, one of the main things that had me hot, Drew woke up. And he ain't paralyzed.
Yep.
Why are you not paralyzed, sir? Come on, you can't have it all.
No, you can't.
Come on.
And I was gonna say,
and they did that test fast.
They did. And I was good. And also, I don't want to see the man nasty feet.
You know what? That was actually no, but that was actually another comedy moment, ever so slightly for me. After he and Lucas had words.
Oh, he didn't put the blanket.
He didn't put the blanket back. He left the man's feet cold. That's well.
Yeah.
Too bad.
Another thing that I was thinking when they're like, I was like, oh, if he is paralyzed, don't give him the same procedure that y'all gave Curtis.
No.
Don't do that.
Or it don't work. Give him the procedure that you gave Kai. Sorry, that's not nice. But then, what really had me hot, because, I mean, okay, we all knew Drew was going to wake up, right? That was no big surprise. What really had me hot about that was, that he's had this experience. You have pissed somebody off to the point that they want you dead. And you don't change your ways. You wake up still as nasty and vile as when you lay your head down.
Right, and then
you name Michael as the shooter, and you know full well and good it may not be him.
Right, then he said something else about let them try again. I don't know when he said I think he said that to Willow, but it's like some let them try again. It's like, yes, let them try again. Willow, that is your cue. Juke him with a needle. Juke him.
Right.
This was comedy in and of itself. Curtis going in to talk to him, and then Curtis getting up, and then just going over to the bags and just checking. As Drew was in his grogginess, be like, "What are you?" It's like, yeah, Drew, you know, little thing. It's like pulls out. I'm like, oh, you should have pulled out a needle.
Digitalis?
Right? Take something out of Cyrus'
Cyrus
book.
was dead.
Take something out of Cyrus' book.
That ain't Curtis' style though.
Still.
Yeah.
At least, like, hell, there didn't have to be anything in the... Well, except an air bubble. That would have done it. Mm-hmm. But it's like, there didn't have to be anything in the needle. I think just pulling out a needle of itself would have scared the bejesus out of him. Because he's like, oh, come back to finish the job? Needle.
As a matter of fact.
It's like, well, you know.
Okay. Now, the thing that really had me hot this week. So, Jason rescues Joss and Vaughn.
Yes.
He goes back to save Britt, which he does. He manages to get the ankle bracelet off of Britt, and off they go. They're running down the hall to escape, and they get stopped by two thugs and Pajama Man, a.k.a. Pascal.
I know who you meant. But then again, the people might not have.
Right. So Joss and Vaughn come down the hall from the other direction because as Jason starts to fight these guys, one gets shot in the back, so the second one turns around. Pascal turns around. Next thing you know, whee! Pascal is in the wind. How you met Pascal escape, so?
Also, how he run so fast in the bowling shoes?
Right. How is he gone? This means we got to see him back again?
Yes!
No!
Yes!
No, I don't want to.
We need to know who the benefactor is.
We need to know who the benefactor is. We don't need Pascal to do that. We can get that through Valentine. Why did you let him go? That's some shoddy work. Both from the WSB and Super Jason.
You want to know what had me hot this week?
I do.
We are the second week of September. Second week of September. And my glorious man, Nathan West, has not made an appearance yet. And I said, General Hospital, don't leave it to the second to last week or the last week, because I'm gonna fight you. I'm gonna go down to wherever y'all film the show, and I'm gonna fight you. I
don't think they heard you.
Apparently not, because
yelling at your TV does not quite make it all the way to ABC Studios.
No, because I told this to you. Yeah, if not yesterday, it had to be yesterday. If not yesterday, I told you Thursday. Mm-hmm. I said, "Great, Britt's back. Obrecht is in tears. she's like, oh my god, my child is alive, and now has to do it all over again
We
with
don't
her
know
other
that.
child.
We don't know that Ryan Peavy's coming back as Nathan. There's no other person he really needs to come back as. We agree.
Right?
I can't see who else he might come back as, but there's nothing to say that he will.
I refuse to believe otherwise.
I know.
And
I kind of do
and
too.
again, it
I just want to make it clear.
does not make sense to give Maxie his badge.
I know.
Especially with the news he's coming back, if it's not him.
I know. I agree with you.
Because I swear, if he comes back and it's not him,
we have to.
I'm sorry, guys.
Our expectations.
I'm sorry, but if he comes back and it's not him, you will have this podcast with one host.
We'll have to temper our expectations.
I don't temper nothing. I'm an optimist, not a realist. Okay. You know this about me.
Now, in our what'd you do that for, or who called for that? Now we know there were some choices this week that had us going. Are you serious right now? Why are you looking at me like that?
Because it's like, do you know what mine is?
No.
It's the fact that Marco is his lawyer.
Yes, that's my Kesakaka.
The fact that Marco Rio, Diane Miller, out of all the lawyers who work in your firm, you sent Marco Rios, the son of a man who has beef with Sonny Corinthos, your other top client, to defend his son?
Okay, so that's the thing, right? Because Marco has said he can keep that separate, right? Because he's only doing legit business for his father.
Which he's now said, bring me in full time.
Oh, for sure. But Diane don't know that.
No, he does not. But, and I recognize that Diane, like, is defending Alexis, so she cannot defend Michael. I recognize that.
Now, what I want to know.
But the fact that Marco in and of itself was like, yeah, I'm cool with this. That's the other thing that got me.
What? Yes.
Because Michael's like, I've dealt with the police multiple times, and I need a lawyer in this case. So he's like, you know what, I'll deal with it. It's Marco and the fact that he accepted this in the first place. That's like,
absolutely. This is the thing. But just before I talk about that some more, quick question. I wonder if Alexis being a suspect, if she could have represented Michael.
That's what I'm wondering.
Because she's not accused.
No.
But she's a suspect. So, you know. I mean, I can only assume that would be a very big conflict of interest.
Right. But also, technically, they've taken Alexis off the suspect or person of interest board because of Ava.
Right, but she might not have known that at the time.
No.
So that's an interesting one.
I was also a little surprised that Curtis went
with Martin,
because I was like,
yeah, well, this is it.
I was like, couldn't Alexis defend you? It's like okay, I was like, Diane's defending Alexis defends and so
Alexis can't defend Curtis because they're each other's alibi,
right? So Alexis defends Michael.
But that's what I'm saying. So I wonder if she can't. But and that the only other lawyer that would have left is Rick, but we know Rick is in the basement. So yeah. So to your point,
and this is where I'm like, okay, instead of Martin defending Marco, instead of Martin defending Curtis, Marco could have defended Curtis because they have no beef. There is no I have an issue with you, so there wouldn't have been any bias in that compared to Marco, who says I can put that aside, but it's still kind of like.
But you do have a point because surely Diane knows or would suspect that Sonny kidnapped Marco.
Right, and also
so yeah,
and then on top of that, with the whole. I think Sidwell did this with Judge Herron. I was like, why would you also send Marco to defend Michael?
Yeah, that qualifies under so many things. What'd you do that for? Make it make sense. And Kesakaka, because that's my thing. My Delulu of the week for those who are new. Kesakaka means like, what the heck? It's where's this going? What is this going to spin into? Because Marco knows all of this. So why would Marco agree to represent Michael? What information is he trying to get? Obviously he's going to try to use it because he's trying to work with his father and bring down Sonny and the whole custody thing where we know it was set up that Michael would get custody. Mm-hmm. So what's Marco's end game here? That's not clear for me right now.
No, it's not, and it's bugging me.
I did not care for that. But my who called for that or what'd you do that for was Jason promising not to dime out Joss as part of the WSB.
Got me freaking vexed.
Right? I mean, I see that as another plot point because the only move Jason now has is to go talk to Brennan. Mm-hmm. Because he's not going to tell Carly.
No. But...
You know, is he going to tell Joss to tell Carly? And be like, you got something to tell your mother, like, in front of her mother?
Right? And see, and this is what I'm thinking. We should add a new segment called the Math Ain't Mathin', which kind of falls in line with the heartstrings for when, you know, it's a segment that only comes in when things really aren't mathin'. It's not like a constant, because the math ain't mathin' with me, folks, because here's the thing. The bomb exploded Monday. So as far as we know, everybody's still on Croatia. Then we see Jason and Britt on the way back to Port Charles from Croatia, possibly Paris, because when Jason was going back to Port Charles, he had to go to, he was at Paris.
He'd go through Paris, yeah.
Right. So let's say Croatia to Paris is probably like not even a 2-hour flight, give or take out the distance.
Well, what did we figure? Because we looked that up.
We looked it up.
I think it was like 11 hours.
From Croatia to Port Charles, it's 11 hours.
Yeah, let's call it to New York because Port Charles is a fictional place.
Right.
Yeah.
So Croatia to New York is about 11 hours. So let's say if they did go straight from Paris, we'll add on another hour, 2 hours.
Well, it would come out of the 11.
Fair enough.
Yeah, okay.
Because they said it was like, on the plane, they said it was a 9-hour flight.
Yeah.
So let's say that.
Yeah.
But in the next time we see Joss and Vaughn, they're in Australia.
Which we discovered.
Which we also did the math, from Croatia to Australia is about 24 hours.
Yeah, yeah.
So...
And from New York to Australia is 24 hours.
Right. Which also is confusing because when we saw Vaughn and Jocelyn, they were already situated in Australia, surfing the waves, like they've been there for days. Whereas, at least in terms of Britt and Jason, Britt got a new dress, she got her clothes, or not clothes, she got her purse, passport, they gone. Like, they traveled light as you can get.
Yep.
Joss and Vaughn, sure, they also traveled light, but they still had, like, more hours to fly than they did. Mm-hmm. So it's like the math wasn't mathing in terms of distance, travel time, and how one person set up in the location, the other one is just arriving home. Then on top of that,
I hear Uncle Sass. You know this is a fictional story, right?
I don't.
So they can do that stuff with the timeline.
I don't give a flip. I don't. It's one thing. It's one thing to age up your kids in a magical manner. It's another for travel time, please.
Okay.
Then you got Jack Brennan, who needs to have a whole ass conversation with these two to get the whole rundown of what the hell happened in Croatia. Mm-hmm. Again, his flight, and I'm gonna go with he's taking a private jet because WSB.
Yeah.
So he's got his
he's
private
done
jet.
It before, so why not?
He's got his little private jet. Still gonna take him 21 hours unless they're flying at Mach 1. Maybe Mach 2. But breaking the sound barrier here. But point is, there's still 20 hours of flight. They chilling. Jocelyn and Vaughn had time to surf the waves, knock boots twice before Jack Brennan comes busting in with their guns a-blazing.
And that's the other question. Oh, right. Never mind. It's not a question. She said that they went to Australia to shore up their backstory.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is just like... But it's like Jack Brennan showed up halfway through the episode, at like the second half of the episode, and I was like, "Sir, what the hell?"
Listen, you already know. I told you before. I'm not with you on this. I was not at all bothered.
You know, continuity bugs me.
I didn't see it as a continuity issue, but that's okay.
Not continuity, but timeline to me matters.
For you, that's part of continuity. I'm okay with that.
Timeline matters. If I can't compute it realistically. Mm-hmm. It doesn't. I don't believe it. I can't physically believe that it took you, like, no, I can't believe that you were there or appeared to be there for days when it takes you a day to get there and it took them 9 hours to get home. Unless you guys left significantly before they did, I don't believe it. I don't.
I hear you. Okay, so now, Port Charles MVPs this week. Who's your hero of the week?
Nina.
All right.
Because she talked to Lulu in a nice, like... One, I like how she's to Brennan. I'm not going to use Charlotte like that. I'm not going to manipulate her. I care about her. I ain't doing that. Then proceeds to go to Lulu and says, yeah, look, Jack Brennan reached out to me, and before you start hooping and hollering, I'm not doing his dirty work. However, I do think it'd be good for your child to see her father, but if you're going to do that, use this situation to your advantage so you get brownie points with her.
Yep.
So I liked that.
And I think you should let her go because she misses her father. You love your daughter. You want the best for her. You don't want her in pain. This is the thing to do. So I agree with you. I will wholly support. Yeah, I don't have any other, because honestly, and again, I give Uncle Sass a very big side eye, because I used to, and I say that with a question mark, love me some Jason.
You did.
Jason was the superhero to beat all superheroes, and now it's like, because Uncle Sass calls him Super Jason, very cynically, like, oh well, this doesn't make any kind of sense, but Jason get it done. It was good to see Jason struggling a little bit, like the guard was choking him out, and then Jocelyn had to like bash the guy on the back of the head. It was a really weak bash on the back of the head. He's fighting the goons again with Pascal, and then Vaughn had to shoot the guys in the back, all of that. So I can't give it to Super Jason, but that's okay. So I'm good with Nina. But let's talk about the schemers making life miserable. Who's your villain of the week?
I didn't have a villain of the week this week, which is really upsetting.
That's okay.
It's like, and I know you say we've kind of stopped doing the multiple and have to have the one, but it's like,
well, if you don't have one, I have one.
It's like,
for me, the villain is Pascal. I mean, the clothes he wears is a crime against fashion, but you already know I think that.
I do.
But how did he get away? First of all, as we heard from Britt this week, he was talking about, the benefactor, whoever he is sick of you. You're giving him too much trouble. And Britt's like, just let me talk to him. I can change his mind or whatever. And Pascal's just looking at her and she's like, oh, this is entirely a you thing. He don't have no problem with me. You want me dead. Oh, rude. And then...
right, because I'm still trying to think. It's like, who else
could possibly be working with Faison?
Well, there's that, but also who cares enough about Britt to, one, not get her killed, give her medication for her Huntington's, like, who is this person?
Right, and that was the other thing. Britt let us know when she was updating her mother on where she'd been, that she struck a deal before Heather
even hit her.
Yeah,
that's the that's my villain of the week. Britt for that play. I'm with Oprah on that.
Yeah.
Like, I understand.
And this is where I got my slap.
I understand her intentions of, I didn't want you to see me suffer.
Yeah.
So I thought I would just, give you that whatever. Mm-hmm. Which I totally understand.
Yeah.
But that was
it was cruel.
It was cruel.
It's cruel.
It was really cruel. And then, again, where I say you're a hypocrite is the part where she's like, I mourned you and all this and all that to Jason. And it's like, but Jason didn't fake his death.
No.
He got trapped, and when he managed to escape and want to go home, he got caught.
I don't know that she knows that yet. He told her?
And I made a deal to, and it's like...
to protect Carly.
To protect Carly, which made her pissed. And she's like, I take it back. I take back my mourning of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like, you're a hypocrite. It's like, you don't forgive Jason for what he did and faking his death, but he didn't fake his death compared to you.
And you did the same thing.
Yeah. And it's like, it's basically, it's like, you lied to your loved one and all this and all that. It's like, so did you. You did all that to go do a research assignment and leave your mother to mourn you for 2 years.
Yep.
So I'm like, yeah. As much as I love Britt, bun fire on you for that one.
Absolutely. And as for who could be working with Faison, I can't even come up with it. I was like, the only person I could honestly think of which may get you your wish is Helena. That's the only somebody I can think of. Except Helena is not a man. And Britt keeps talking about him.
She does.
So I don't know. And I mean, no, if it were the same Nathan that you're talking about, Nathan would not be doing this cold fusion thing.
No, but
so I don't know who else it could be.
See, unless they pull the whole plot line of, he memory lost, brainwashed, so it is Nathan. But also, like, maybe he's like, he does care, which is why he's not killing Britt. It's like, that's the only thing that makes sense. It's the only, like, Nathan is the only person I can see who would care about Britt and not want her dead, but for some reason is in this position of cold fusion. Like, it's like he like.
One other person. What if it's Drew? Again, the brainwashing. Right when you said brainwash, I was like, oh, imagine the brainwashing. They convinced Drew somehow to take over from Faison. He knows Britt. He knows. I don't know how.
Right, but
I would
he
have
didn't
to.
care about Britt.
I have to think it through. I have to think it through.
Okay.
No, but he uses people. He needs to keep her alive.
Right.
So he's concerned about her well-being to the extent that it keeps her alive to continue to work. Can't reach him. He's in the hospital.
But thing is, he's been on the island. Drew hasn't got, unless the only time we've ever heard that Drew wasn't in town was when he was in Washington that one time.
Hey, listen.
So
this is a new thing that they brought her back, so they can write that backstory however they like.
Fair enough,
right? I don't know how I feel about that. I don't think it's Drew.
I don't either.
But
really, again, the caring part.
Peter August?
Dead.
Because they're siblings?
Dead. And they're not siblings.
Supposedly, they are siblings.
They're not siblings. Nathan and Britt are siblings. Nathan and Peter are siblings. But Britt and and Peter have no connection whatsoever.
Peter and Nathan are siblings through who?
Fathers. Because Britt and Nathan are siblings through mother.
Didn't they say?
Faison is not Nathan's dad.
I thought he was.
Then I don't. Then
I'll have to research that.
Faison might be.
I will have to research that.
Yeah,
after.
we'll have to, because I'm like, if Faison is Peter's dad, then sure they are siblings. But
I'm pretty sure Faison is Peter's dad. We'll have to research that. Okay, let me write that down. Let's check that family tree. You might be right on that one. Family tree. And you know what? For those of you listening on YouTube and Spotify, put your comments. It's like, yeah, Mama Sass is absolutely right. The three of them are siblings. But yeah, okay.
That's
yeah, for real. Because did we have Peter's body? Not that it really matters.
I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't there for his demise.
I just remember him being in the freezer that he got out. Nobody ever explained how he got out the freezer.
I wasn't there for his demise. I just know he chased after Maxie when she was giving birth. Then he fell down a set of stairs in a freezer. I wasn't there for his demise.
Yeah, I can't remember. I was, and I don't remember what it was.
But even then, I don't think even
I think Maxie might have killed him. I can't remember.
Even if Peter and Britt are siblings, which I'm starting to kind of agree with you on the Faison thing, I don't think he ever cared because he didn't find out till later.
Agreed.
Because I don't think he found out until the night Nathan got shot. Because he was aiming. Exactly. I think he was aiming to shoot Faison, and he hit Nathan.
I think so. I thought Jason killed Faison.
No.
But anyway,
someone was trying to hit Faison, and Nathan was the one who got shot.
I thought that was Jason, not Peter. But
either way, Nathan got shot instead of Faison.
Yes, agreed. But I feel that they are siblings, and I feel that they were developing a relationship. We'll look it up.
Well, okay.
I will look that up, and we will come back on that next week. Now, last bit before we have our predictions, if anything.
Two more bits, because you have a heartstrings and there's make it sassy.
I don't have a heartstrings.
You do have a heartstrings.
Okay, well, I didn't have it on my paper, so I wasn't.
Because we talked about it again with the whole scout thing. Unless you decided to scrap it.
I must have decided to scrap it because I didn't write it down. I wasn't tied to it.
Oh, then my heartstrings, very briefly, will be Obrecht reuniting with Britt.
Yes, I agree with that. And sure, heartstrings, Scout talking about, I just want to see my family, I miss my family, blah, 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 for sure. And you can see how emotional I am about it. So, make it sassy. People giving lip.
Yep.
Has to go to Britt on all accounts. She is back in fine form.
There's one other make it sassy that I remembered for me, but go on.
Okay, so the first one was after they got out of the explosion, and she and Jason are standing there, and she's looking at Jason, and she's like, "There's something I've been meaning to tell you." And we're all sitting here leaning forward, like, "Oh, she's gonna tell him she loves him." I don't like your tattoos. I just about fell out of my chair. I thought that was hilarious.
That was honestly one of the funniest things ever seen, because it's like, girl, we was ready,
right?
And then you didn't say it.
And then, still with Britt in the hospital, and Dante tell her whatever, like, "What are you doing here? Who called for you to be here?" Whatever rudeness he said to her, and she was like, "Great to see you, Britt. I'm glad you didn't die. How are you? And he just kind of give her a look. And then Nina comes over, gives Britt a big hug, and is like, great to see you, Britt. I'm glad you didn't die. How are you? And Britt's like, that's how it's done. You see? That's how you do it.
Basically.
That was great.
Okay, so my other make it sassy after Britt ends up leaving the hospital with her kind of snide comments and all of that, but still kind of like, is basically Lulu, Dante talking, like, freaking out a little bit because, you know, Britt's back in town. And then Lulu makes a comment about, it's like, oh, we need to talk to Rocco about this, and, you know, before Brooklyn goes and says something. And I'm like, girl, you and Brooklyn just made a truce for Maxie. Why are you digging at her again? Why? Because imagine Brooklyn just somehow managed to walk up behind you and heard that. The whole thing is going to start all over again.
Agreed.
Girl, please.
Agreed. And a little bit of sass from Rocco, too. Yeah. Actually, when he finds out that Britt is alive. And he's like, well, how come I didn't see her? You keeping her away from me on purpose?
I mean...
Yeah. And I don't know why they played that out the way they did. I thought that was silly because, you know, they didn't have to hustle Britt out of the hospital. You could have just hustled into the room and taking your son out a whole different door. You know where she was standing.
Right? I'm like, the girl just wanted to go get her medication.
Right?
Like...
Whatevs. Okay. Predictions.
Yes.
Do you have any? Because I read a very, very interesting fan prediction.
You did tell me how to think. My one thing is just figuring out who this benefactor is, and my prediction, as I stated earlier, is possibly Nathan. You know, brainwashing, memory loss, something.
Mm-hmm.
But then that also wouldn't make sense, especially because she said she was approached with this before she died.
Yep.
And it wouldn't make sense that it would be Nathan because Nathan's been long dead, and at the time there was no.
Yep.
There's nothing to suggest that Nathan was gonna come back, or even the actor. So that is still a prediction, or it's more of a theory than a prediction.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a very flimsy theory.
Yep.
Again, another prediction is hopefully what you said about ADA Turner getting the warrant to search his safe. I hope that happens. And yeah, that's about it for me.
Okay. So are you ready for this? I gotta put this down. I gotta look you in your face.
Our eyes need to meet 4?
Oh, yes.
Oh.
This is the fan prediction.
Okay. Hold on, let me brace myself.
This made me laugh, and I was like, oh, I'm so here for it. The prediction is, so when Willow went into the room and talked about who shot you and all that was just bogus.
Obviously.
Because Willow well know who shot Drew. She shot him because she and he, or he and she, because this would have to be Drew's brainchild, made the plan for Willow to come in and shoot him in order to frame Michael and get the kids.
So you're telling me...
Are you rebooting?
Yes.
Your face, man.
Yes, I'm very much rebooting. So you're telling me that this whole shooting was staged?
That's what the prediction is. I thought that was the greatest thing I had read. That yes, that Drew's wickedness knows no bounds. His puppet mastery over Willow knows no bounds. And this was something they came up with to get the kids back.
I mean, plausible. And so stupid.
Oh, I know.
You're really like yes, she's a nurse, but you're willing to risk her pulling a gun on you and shooting you in the back, no less, where bullets can ricochet within the body and actually could have killed you.
You wanted to know where she got the gun from? She got it from Drew.
That is the...
And she learned to shoot, which was at dawn at day, because they need to protect the cult. So she's known how to shoot since she was knee-high to a grasshopper.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Like, honestly, I would need to make sure that if I'm shooting someone, I would make sure and this is a stage thing. I want to make sure I know where in the body there are spaces where I can shoot where it actually won't kill you.
They practice beforehand.
That's fine. I know it's staged, literally in the show.
No. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Drew and Willow as characters. He went and got some kind of dummy. They went to the shooting range. They practiced to make sure that she hit him in the right place.
There is no guarantee that would have happened. The thunder could have hit in a louder octave and she could have jumped and
They didn't know
shot.
it was going to be raining that night. Whatever. But I'm just saying, that's...
Like there.
We have in discussion. We have added to the prediction or the speculation, but that's what it is.
That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.
I love it. Now, if that ain't sassy,
again, plausible, but so damn stupid.
If that ain't sassy, anyways, ladies and gents, that's what we got for you this week. So we're going to go look up this Faison family tree, see who's related to who, so we'll bring that back to you next week. But in the meantime, have a great week. Come back for a little bit more soap.
A heck of a lot of stupidity with these people.
That's not the line.
I'm more sass. I'm sorry, because that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life.